Everybody talks about how incredible the Mile High City, Denver, Colorado is. Between the lifestyle, the mountains, this incredible weather that we have, but there's a lot of people that move out here and have regrets. And in this video today, I'm actually gonna be sharing with you guys 2 that are really important to at least keep in mind and be on your radar if you're considering coming out to live in Denver, Colorado in the future. I'm really excited to share this brand new episode with you guys of living in Denver. Let's go. All right, guys, so as I said, today's gonna be all about 2 really important things to keep in mind if you are considering moving out here to Denver, Colorado. These are oftentimes things that get overlooked, so I think it's super important for you guys to keep these in mind when you consider Denver. So I'm gonna jump right into it, but before I do, when I go through the video today, if any questions come up, feel free to reach out. I'm an open book. I love connecting. All that info down below, feel free to reach out. But the first thing that I wanna talk about is this big buzzword right now, which is affordability. Now, affordability can be talked about in a lot of different ways, different contexts behind what we're referring to here. But I want to talk about Denver specifically when it comes to the cost of living, but also this gap that we have between the median home sales price and also the median household income, and how this is just so far off recently that a lot of people feel like it's just unattainable to buy a home out here in Colorado. So this is one thing that oftentimes people that move out here get a little bit just kind of overwhelmed with. You know, they think that they're gonna find a home, they're gonna find a home that fits what they're looking for, and once they start getting out here and looking, they get a little beat up. They feel just a little bit overwhelmed and just frustrated, you know, a little discouraged because maybe there's certain things that they could have done differently to identify some homes that did still fit what they were looking for. So that's what this first point is all about, is not just affordability, but how you can still make it a reality if this is a goal of yours to move out here to Denver. So talk about a couple different things here, but the first one is with affordability, it's really important to realize, yes, Denver is very expensive. In fact, last year, the median sales price of homes here in the Denver area was right about $585,000. Now that's pretty high when you're looking at it in comparison to other places around the country, especially when that household income might not be quite in alignment with this, the affordability, the ability to pay for that home. So one thing that's really exciting to share, if you guys have watched any of my recent episodes on the channel, I actually put this out a couple weeks ago. Colorado was recently ranked as #1 in the entire nation for income growth. So yes, we still have a ways to go, but it's awesome to see that our state is leading the pack when it comes to income growth. So we are hopefully getting a little bit better on this regard. And for people that are moving out here that need to get employment in Colorado, I think that's great news to share with you guys. So one thing that was a little bit of a positive to start off when I talk about affordability. But what I wanted to really share with you guys today is something I've never talked about on my channel before. And this is this concept that I actually do talk about quite frequently on our monthly Denver homebuyer webinars. If you guys haven't attended one of those yet, they're free. It's a virtual event. We host them every month. I'll put a link down below. Just go to denverwebinar.com. But on those, this is one of the techniques or just little exercises that I oftentimes share with people when they are considering to come out here. So this is called the pick 2 of 3. And what this is referring to is usually I can get 2 out of 3. Sometimes I'll get all 3, but almost always 2. But what's more important is just identifying of the 3 things I'm about to share with you, which are the most important. Kind of put them in order. So these 3 things are gonna be price, location, and condition. So price, meaning what's the budget? What's the amount that you would like to ideally spend on the home? Number 2 is the location. So where within Denver are you hoping this home to be located? And then this third one, condition, is referring to how is the condition of the home? For example, is it a brand new home? Or maybe it's a home that was built 50 or 60 years ago. Is it a new construction home? Is it a home that's in really good shape and won't need any improvements after you purchase the home? Or maybe it needs a little bit of TLC, you know, a little bit of sweat equity once you purchase the home. So those are the 3 things. So what's important is with your specific situation, figuring out which are at the top of the list and kind of go down from there. So with all that in mind, the exercise that's really fun to do is just talk through this with whoever else is going to be living in this new home with you on the price, location, and condition of the home. Figure out which of those is the most important. So I'm just gonna do a couple of quick examples of this for you guys just to kind of put this into practice. Let's just say that we're out and looking for a home in the Denver area and our price or our budget, the amount we'd like to spend, is right at $500,000. And let's just say for the location, we pick an area called Sloan Lake, which is actually one of my favorite parts of Denver. I used to live in this area. It's very, very popular, so very much in demand. So those are the two things first: the price, $500,000, location, Sloan Lake, and then the third one will be condition. But we'll start with those first two. So in that Sloan Lake area, at a budget of $500,000, we're not gonna find that much inventory even available. So the condition of the home, that third one, is going to be what needs to give a little bit. Maybe you have a dream of having this brand new 2,500 square foot home, newer built construction, turnkey. Well, in that area of Denver, at a $500,000 budget, we're probably not gonna find a whole lot. So we might have to give a little bit on that condition of the home. Instead of that new construction or really turnkey type property, we might need to find a home that needs a little bit of TLC. Maybe it's a value add property where after purchasing it, there's a few things that maybe a year or two later can be improved upon, adding value to the property, but also allowing you to still get the home today and then build into it in the future. So that would just be one example. You can almost always get 2 out of the 3. Sometimes you get all 3, but I think more importantly is understanding the importance of figuring out which are the most high priority in your specific situation. So I'll do one more example with something a little bit different. So let's just say that you really want a new build home. You don't want to deal with any older homes that just need some improvements. Maybe it's repainting or updating the kitchen appliances, or maybe something more significant like finishing the basement, stuff like that. So you just don't want to do any of that. You really want to find a home that is turnkey. It's basically brand new, ready for you to move in, be the first one ever to live in there. So now that we have that condition and as well as that price, so new build home and about a $500,000 budget, we're now able to zero in on a few different locations that fit that specific desire. Now with a $500,000 budget and looking at new build homes, we definitely have quite a few options out there, but again, it's going to give us a little bit better picture, a little bit better understanding of where the possibilities even exist. So this is just a really healthy exercise to do ahead of time, just to help, first of all, any realtor that you might be working with, so they're only providing you with potential homes that really fit what you're looking for. It just gets everybody on the same page and just a little bit more in alignment with expectations. You know, one other thing that I'll share on this that I think is so important is that oftentimes the home you buy, for example, this year, that's not going to be your forever home. So if you're really getting beat up on this and you just really want a specific type of home, just understanding that it's still better to get in the game, and maybe it's that second or third home in the future that you buy that really fits everything, that really knocks all 3 of those out of the park. Again, the price, location, and the condition of the home. So this is just a really good way to not only, have some of this at your fingertips early on in this process, but also it helps with eliminating any sort of emotional decision making. This is one of the biggest things that happens for realtors out here in Colorado, as well as I'm sure across the country, is letting emotion take over instead of having a very level head when it comes for searching for your future home. There's nothing worse than having, again, the price, location, and condition. We have a location, Sloan Lake, we have a condition, we want this beautiful new construction home, 3,000 square feet, and then emotion kicks in and we really want that, but reality just doesn't meet what we're looking for. So long-winded way of just sharing a specific little tactic, a little tool that you might want to try out sometime. Really, really helpful, especially when it comes down to overcoming this affordability challenge. Okay, so now that we've talked about affordability, now I want to switch gears and talk about something different. So another thing that oftentimes people find out about too late after they move out here is just understanding the lifestyle that exists when you live in Denver. So Denver is not a mountain town. It obviously is a massive city, but people still come out here thinking that they're moving to the mountains. Colorado just surpassed 6 million people. So obviously in Denver, the largest city in Colorado, it's a very massive city at this point. People come out here though, still thinking that, after work on a weeknight, they'll be able to just shoot up to the mountains and go for a mountain bike ride or a hike after work, or on the weekends, just being able to really get up and enjoy the mountains on a very regular basis. And yes, a lot of people do that. I'm one of them, but there is still a lot of challenges for a lot of people, and that comes down to where in Denver they decide to live. Now, Denver is obviously, like I said, a very big city, and there's parts of Denver, especially on the eastern side, areas like Aurora, or maybe even areas a bit up to the north like Thornton and Northglenn, maybe even areas a little bit further out like Commerce City. And some of these areas that I'm talking about end up being some of the most popular that people gravitate towards and live in. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you're working a typical Monday to Friday job, 9 to 5, getting off work at 5, and then still having the aspirations to get in your car and drive to go for a mountain bike ride in the foothills on that western side of Denver, it's gonna take you an hour to get there at minimum in some cases, and it's just not something that you're gonna be able to do on a regular basis. You're gonna get burnt out real quick. So I'm saying all of this because if this is kind of speaking your language, you really are that outdoor active lifestyle type person, and that's why you're considering Colorado, well, you need to be really intentional about the part of Denver that you decide to live in. You know, that's one thing that I'm really big on, is always focusing on the western side of Denver. Now, when you're looking at Denver on a Google Maps, you can see that I-25 is our main thoroughfare running north and south, and this is a good indicator where if you're to the west or to the left of this on the map, you just have that much easier access, and it only gets more so the further west you go. So if you really do want to have this outdoor lifestyle as a priority and be intentional about it, make sure you guys focus on areas like Golden, Arvada, Wheat Ridge, Applewood, Littleton, maybe parts of Lakewood, any of those areas that are really butting up against the mountains. And because of this close proximity, it's so much easier to actually be enjoying this on a regular basis. And this is what ends up happening, guys. A lot of people move out here, but they choose some of these other areas, and they end up just never even going to the mountains because it becomes such a headache. And that's just horrible. You know, I want you guys to enjoy the mountains as much as you can. I know that's one of the main reasons I still choose to live here, and I hope it's one of the main reasons you guys are deciding to come out here as well. So when you're on that western side of town, it just really does help out a lot. It just becomes a much more easy, achievable aspect of your lifestyle here. And you know what, guys, before we close this video out, I want to give you one last bonus tip, and it's really relevant to that second point, all about that outdoor, active, healthy lifestyle and trying to be more focused on the western side of Denver. But this one is all about when you buy a house, or even if you're renting, make sure that you account for a garage that's a bit larger than what you actually need. So let's just say that you have a partner and you guys each have a car, so you figure, I need a 2-car garage. Well, yeah, that sounds great in theory, but what ends up happening is people move out here, they pick up new hobbies, whether that be mountain biking, skiing, camping, the list goes on and on and on. Every single one of those has a lot of stuff, and that stuff takes up a lot of space, and that space oftentimes is in your garage. So all of a sudden, after a couple years out here, you have some new hobbies, all of a sudden you can't park 2 cars in the garage anymore. One of them's out on the street because you need space for all of that valuable hobby stuff like bikes, camping gear, skis, the list can go on and on, like I said. So always try and identify a home that has either an oversized garage, like an oversized 2-car garage, or even just, if possible, step it up one. So if you only really need a 2-car garage, see if you can figure out a way in your budget to make a 3-car garage achievable. I guarantee this is one of those things that so many people really are thankful for after the fact, and the ones that don't account for this early on, they end up moving after a couple of years just because it becomes such a pain. So really good extra little tip for you guys. But with all of that being said, hope you guys got some value out of this one. One last time, denverwebinar.com. Make sure you guys sign up for that next free virtual event where we go through all kinds of stuff like this, all about living in Denver and what it takes to still succeed in the 2026 real estate market. So hope to see you guys on that next webinar. Link is down below. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. I'll see you then. Bye.